Growing up, there's always this inferiority towards this idea of being a pious person, religious person. Let's follow the sunnah, let's all be pure and faithful. It's not easy. Plain and simple, it's not easy. On the surface, this is all looked at as a burden. If you were to get to that point in your life, or you even perceive yourself as to get to that point in your life, you would imagine that your life is going to be a lot more constricted than before. I mean, that's probably a given in anyone's mind. Your friends and company would change. Your comfort zone would be compromised. Your good, carefree life would be threatened all of a sudden. And if you have your family dynamics, which might not be even that great, will also never be the same again. So it looks at the surface, it's not really a good deal. It's not a good time for this at all. Point is, no matter how beautiful I can portray Islam and Iman for you, it does not change the fact that, or we cannot be running away from the fact that things will change. So as many things in the Quran are addressed, this one particular issue also is. And it comes from the mindset of the Quraysh chieftains. Alright guys, so let's open up chapter 28, which is Surah Al-Qasas, and verse 57, and let's see what Allah has to say about this. So Allah says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَقَالُوا إِنَّ نَتَّبَعَ الْهُدَى مَعَكَ نُتَخَطَّفْ مِنْ أَرْضِنَا. What that beginning means is that, and if they say, if we were to follow the guidance with you, we would be snatched away from the land. Whoa. So these leaders had the exact same reaction as anyone who would be, proposed to following this guidance and following this and going hardcore. The reaction was, whoa, whoa, whoa. If we were to follow this guidance with you, which implies that they kind of do see its credibility. So to explain what they mean by getting snatched from the land, you see, Mecca thrived, or Quraysh thrived in Mecca on the economic prosperity of their idols which they had, which were worshipped, which naturally would have to be completely destroyed if they were to actually follow the Prophet's guidance, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you break this foundation, and automatically your pacts, your friendships, your relationships, your covenants, your deals with the surrounding tribes goes to ruin. Financially, socially, politically, accepting the message of Islam will mean humiliation and disgrace for this tribe in all of Arabia. This is a big deal. This is not easy. This is not going to be an easy choice. Now, when we think about us, guidance comes at a great cost, right? And sure, we don't have the economic state of a nation at stake when we follow the Prophet ﷺ and the Quran, but we have our own personal costs. And isn't that the case? Let's continue and see what Allah has to say as a reply to this concern. Okay? أَوَلَمْ نُمَكِّنْ لَهُمْ حَرَمًا آمِنًا يُجْبَى إِلَيْهِ ثَمَرَاتُ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ رِزْقًا مِنْ لَدُنَّا. Okay? So did not we establish for them a sanctuary, a well-established sanctuary? In fact, we're talking about Kaaba here, okay? And having all the fruits being provided to them as a source of provision, rizq, from us, min ladunna, okay? So Allah puts things in perspective here. What is it that we are doing this for in the end of the day, right? Prestige, being the custodians of the most sacred shrine in all of Arabia. Safety, like I said, the tribes all have stake in the prophets that come from, the idol worship. So in return, they keep them safe and secure. Prosperity, the fact that you are an idol worship money-making machine. So Allah says, okay, but wasn't it us that set this up in the first place? أَوَلَمْ نُمَكِّنْ لَهُمْ أَوَلَمْ نُمَكِّنْ لَهُمْ. Didn't we put this up for you? The prosperity, the safety, and the affluence. Everything. It was from Allah. So Allah's saying, forget the means and what you claim brought this to you, whether it was the tribes or the idol worships or whatever, but understand that it was actually Allah from the beginning. It always was. So here's like the Quranic plot twist. Allah says, if Allah made this possible for you while you were in disbelief and disobedience, how is it possible that you think of Allah, that He's going to put your state to ruin and agony by voluntarily and by choice following Him? It can't be. And that's why I asked in the beginning of this video, if we were all afraid of being religious in the worldly sense. Of course we should, because there's a lot of apparent and worldly reasons as to why we shouldn't be religious. But if we were to see it differently, if we were to see that our comfort zone, our experiences thus far wasn't just because of the means we were provided with, but because of what Allah has given us. So taking that back to the real source, then really it is a no-brainer that all of these things will just completely perish because we decided all of a sudden to actually please and be grateful to the source of all of these blessings in the first place, whether we were grateful before or not. We should have a different attitude. We should be not afraid. We should be excited. We should be excited of what would actually come to be if we were to be religious. Staying in within the same example, Quraysh, from the empires of Iraq, from the empires of Egypt, Syria, to freaking Spain. These people were afraid of staying intact, being snatched away from their own land. In their perspective, it wasn't just more land that they got the world. I'm saying our expectations shouldn't be any less anticipative than that. A new world can be opened up for us too. And I'm pretty sure that's a less big of a deal to Allah than empire conquests. I mean, just to have your affairs be set right, to have better friends even, to have your friends that you thought would never change, and you would leave them, they would actually come back to you and become even stronger than before. There's a lot of things that we don't want to consider because we never considered that side of the coin. What would happen if you are religious? The blessings are really innumerable. What Allah is going to do to you, I cannot tell you, and you cannot anticipate. But it's going to be something that will make you say, whoa, I did not see that coming. So I really hope this shatters our false notion of religiosity, and I'm too scared to take the step to become a religious person because I'm too scared of what might follow, and I'm not ready yet, okay? And that's all. So, assalamu alaikum everyone, and I'll see you next time on Some Muslim Kid.